that day, I finally got a chance to talk to my classmate about the location of the shrine that Koyomi had mentioned earlier. Gym was the last thing on the schedule for today, so once people got ready to go home, I approached the guy. Hey Ichikawa, is it true that your sister discovered some shrine that is said to bring you good luck? Okay, so this is Ichikawa. Oh, let me guess, you want to date her. Well, even though I do have to admit that she's very attractive, I'm afraid she's already going out with someone. Not to mention, you're not her type. I already got my hands full dealing with Koyomi. You can keep your sister to yourself. Joke aside, I'm more interested in that shrine. Did she mention where she found it? I didn't know that there was anything near the forest aside from the dojo. Oh, well, she said something about it being near a river, and quite high up. And to be honest, I wasn't paying too much attention when she was going on about it. I mean, she was wearing this top, and it was tight, and, okay. Every guy in existence knows this face right here, and everybody knows that hand is not just in his pocket for no reason. Anyway, stop, seriously, I don't need to hear the details, and I doubt anyone else is interested. So, do you know anyone who might have heard about the shrine? Okay, this is a random classmate. Are you guys talking about that lucky shrine out in the forest? The one and only. According to Ichikawa's sister, there's supposed to be one near a river. I don't know about that, but there's this fiery girl at the Sakura dojo who knows more about it. Wait, are you talking about Ariya-sama? About this tall, ridiculously strong, and super scary? That's the one. Oh, in that case, I believe I can still be of help. Takahiro-kun. I wonder where that place is. I know where that place is. Of course you do. We both do. You just want to tag along, don't you? I don't think Ariya-senpai will appreciate you visiting her with your usual tricks in mind. Do I need to remind you what happened last time you tried to peek at her after she finished practice? Okay, so this guy's like a big pervert. Blood, sweat, and tears. Shut up. I don't peep on the ladies. That's slander, you know. I should sue you. I would never look upon Ariya-sama's glorious body in any state of nudity. Oh, so you haven't seen her naked yet. I've seen a bit of side boob, but the hole I found didn't really let me get a good view. Okay, so he's literally a peeping Tom. Nice. There we go. Someone call the cops. Ichikawa the peeping Tom has confessed. I playfully patted Ichikawa's shoulder as I turned around, grabbing my bag in the process, and prepared to leave. Thanks for the help, Ichikawa. I'll let the judge know you were most helpful during the interrogation. This is unfair. I was coerced. I won't say another word until I speak with my lawyer. Okay, so we're at the dojo apparently. Once school was over, I decided to take my chances with the little bit of intel I had managed to obtain from my classmates. If memory served me right, Ariya-senpai would be practicing at the dojo today. Of course, I knew her. She was a judo student just like myself, but for whatever reason, she had been refusing to compete in any tournament for a while now. Ariya-senpai, are you around? I shouted her name as I parked my bike, looking around for any sign of the girl. Yeah! That's my martial art. Yeah, follow the shouts and you will find her. I grinned briefly as I saw Ariya seemingly in the middle of practicing a series of motions, almost as if she was fighting an imaginary opponent. Perhaps now was a perfect opportunity to surprise her a little. I snuck closer, making sure to make as little noise as possible before I reached a hand towards her shoulder. Ariya, feeling a hand on her shoulder, she reacted. She grabbed hold of my hand and with a loud grunt shifted her weight, curling and tipping me over her shoulder. No. I didn't have time to brace myself for the impact before I hit the ground like a sack of potatoes. No one sneaks up on the great Kunoichi Ariya. I think Kunoichi is like a female ninja or something. Oh, Taka boy, I didn't realize it was you. I'm sorry, are you okay? Okay, I thought she was supposed to be like super tall or something. She looks like really short. Kunoichi, more like Tasmanian devil. That throw didn't have a shred of mercy in it. There's no mercy in the ring, Tucker boy. Better you learn that now than in 2 weeks' time. Let me guess, you want to do some sparring, don't you? I actually came here to ask you something, but I guess a little sparring wouldn't hurt. Oh? What do you want to ask? We got all afternoon and I could do with a bit of a break anyway. Where to start? You used to take part in big and important matches in the past, right? Didn't you ever get nervous before going into the ring? Oh yeah, this one time I got so nervous I hid in the kitchen cupboards until my dad found me and dragged me to the car. Of course that was when I was like 8. Well, obviously I can't go and hide from my match, but one of my friends made this stupid suggestion that I go and pray or something. Honestly, at this point I'll do anything to calm my nerves a little. Takaboy, are you sure about this? You mean the match? Of course I am. I've been practicing judo ever since I was old enough to walk. This is my chance to finally represent this country and the sport I love. Adia seemed to think for quite a long time, and while tapping her jaw with the finger. All the while tapping her jaw with the finger. Eventually she snapped her fingers and grabbed tight hold of me. Alright, I'll tell you the way to the shrine I know. But it's going to require more than a simple clap of your hands and a bob of your head. You need to give something to the shrine. Something of value. I guess I'll have to think of something before we get there. Thanks, Senpai. I appreciate the help. We? Oh, no. Takaboy, I'm not going with you. I've got training to do. Besides, you got to take this step yourself. I can draw you a map and show you an easy way to get back here, but you'll be on your own. You're not tagging along? Not even for a little while? Afraid so, Takaboy. Let me just grab some paper. I'll draw that map for you. After Adia's return, quick preparations were made and I followed the directions noted down on the map. Surprisingly, it wasn't all that far. However, the hint on how to find my way back in case I got lost was a bit sketchy. Just look down and you'll be able to see the roof of the dojo from anywhere on the hill. The forest near the dojo was my first challenge to overcome. A narrow path coiled along the trees, and nearby was the river Ichikawa's sister had mentioned. I followed Adia's scribbles with a bit of skepticism, but after an hour or so, I finally arrived at the supposedly legendary shrine. The shrine itself seemed surprisingly well maintained despite being in the middle of nowhere. It made me wonder if someone could be secretly living there. Perhaps some secret martial arts master. That's like always how it is. It's like a big giant castle and there's one master who's like super old but a complete badass. Anyway, that's like so stereotypical. The thought of a hermit living in hiding within the shrine in order to prepare himself for an upcoming battle between good and evil started to dwell in my mind. See, I'm not the only one. I guess it's too good to be true. I sighed in annoyance at the fact that, aside from the shrine itself, the ground surrounding it seemed completely abandoned. There was no way anyone could be living there. For the time being, I decided to focus on the reason behind my visit. It only took a few moments before I gathered the courage to approach the building. Once inside, I found a rather fancy-looking altar of sorts at the back of the room. I guess this is the thing everyone's talking about. Silently, I folded up the map that I've been given. Putting it inside my bag, I approached the altar. I was kind of skeptical about the whole religious aspect, so I wasn't too sure if this was actually going to work. I don't even think luck will do me much good in a match like this. In my opinion, there wasn't any room for things such like luck and martial arts. Judo is all about using the knowledge you have gained through training. Of course, a good amount of talent also helps. There was simply no room for something as superstitious as luck. Clearly, this was going to be a match where my experience and talent would be pushed to their limits. Nothing more and nothing less. Okay, so now we have a female voice. How curious. The boy doesn't believe in superstition, and yet he stands here, surrounded by the very thing he denounces. Upon hearing the voice, I looked around, trying to find the source, but there was no one to be seen. Who's there? Quite the cliched question, but the right thing to ask is, where am I? What are you talking about? Show yourself. Not yet. Entertain me for a little while longer, would you? This is a place like no other. Why did you come here if you do not believe in things such as luck? I came here to protect myself. Oh, do enlighten me about what this something might be that you are preparing yourself for. I felt a little bit annoyed as the questions continued, but maybe if I kept talking to her, I would be able to find out where she was hiding. Okay, so that's a little typo. I'm preparing for a tournament, a judo match. Judo? What might that be? Seriously, you don't know what judo is? It's a highly skilled combat art. Aha, so you're a warrior. Hesitant to go into battle and came here in hope of finding the resolve to fight. I'm not sure about the warrior part. How fortunate. It just so happens that there is a need for one of your kind. My kind? A hero. This shrine brings fortune to heroes such as yourself. However, every great hero must sacrifice something in return. Sounds like what the others mentioned. Your version sounds better, though. Laughing briefly at the story, I decided to play along and clapped my hands together in prayer. So, what's next? Do I offer up my allowance or something? Don't be silly. Money is of little importance to a hero. For you, the sacrifice will be something of much greater value. I will be looking forward to seeing what destiny has in store for you. As if on cue, I began to feel nauseated the moment the girl's words reached my ears, my head spinning wildly. Slowly, I staggered backwards, collapsing onto my back. As my vision grew blurry, the sound of approaching footsteps could be heard. Oh, Jesus. Wow, okay. Could she have found anything at Forever 21 that had, a little bit less clothing? Because this seems like a bit much, like it's way too modest. I mean, this area right here, it's just, these don't need to be here, and that doesn't need to be here, and I don't even know what accessory that is, but it's very stylish. I like it, and apparently she's horny, so that's always a good sign too. Anyway, good luck, hero. You're going to need it. Despite my attempts to get back up, all I managed was a brief look at the girl. All you need is a brief look, jeez. The sight of horns and a tail left many questions. I know, right? That's what I said. But before I had a chance to utter even a single word, my consciousness succumbed to the darkness.